So today sucks. It's foggy. It's raining hard. It's cold. But there is one thing I can do. That's change out the center console and rewrap my blend doors. Let's do it. Okay, everybody, welcome back. So today what I have in store is something that pretty much everybody goes through on Mark IV Jettas. Well, not just Jettas, Volkswagens, Audis. Pretty much I think most older German cars, where when you are driving and you turn your climate control up to 2, 3, or 4, all of a sudden, especially on initial start, you get this nice plume of like dirt and debris and whatnot. So what that is the foam padding on your blend doors that tend to deteriorate over the course of 20 plus years or however long. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, which will also give me the chance to replace my front center shift console and also to replace my rear center console as well. Both of them that I have in black. So I'm going to go through that process. The first thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to take off the lower dash components and the glove box so that I can gain access to these side pieces right here. And then once I have that done, I'm going to jump into here. So let's get to work. Before we get going, you in there. So I need you to do something for me. First, get out of full screen. All right. You see down there the subscribe. I want you to click that. All right. Good. And then right next to it, there's a bell. You see the options. You press the bell. Press the bell. Okay. Pick all. You got it. Good. All right. Let's go full screen again. Since I've got the under dashboard off, so this bracket here is broken, but then you have this bracket back here in the back, right above the gas pedal. You're gonna have that on both sides. So we're gonna make sure to take that off so that you don't destroy that. That looks like a Phillips head. Could even be a flathead. Let me get you a little bit closer. Yep, it is a flathead. So you get a little stubby screwdriver up in there so that when you get to removing your front dash console, you don't snap that into pieces. Even though I think mine's is snapped into pieces. So here's what you have. So you have a flat front with a butterfly on back. And then you have the front facing Phillips with a mini barb in there. So it is threaded, but once you get it going, it's easy to use either like a plastic fork, like I can't think of the name of it, but yeah, these little plastic forks, and then or maybe even like a screwdriver to get that out. I want to keep that together so I don't lose them, so I can reinstall them into the next one. So just so you know, when you take off the glove box area, not only are there 3 screws underneath the dashboard, but when you open the box, there's 3 up top, and then this is the opportunity to pry off the side shield where you can then access this lower screw as well, and then the whole thing will drop and pull out. Also keeping in mind to unplug your light bulb and your open door sensor, which triggers on the light bulb. All right, so let's keep going. All right, so next step is the bracketing for the radio. That's gonna have to come out. You got 2 screws here on both sides, and since I haven't mentioned it, what I'm using is I'm using a T20 Torx bit to get all these screws out. Pretty much a universal size. I go into a little bit more depth on how to take off the dashboard in one of the other videos that I made, which I will link above. And I'm gonna get back to doing this now. All right, so I got the radio out. I took the screws off. I got one more screw down here. Can you see it? And there you go. and that's holding this whole assembly in place. So if any of you have ever done an aftermarket radio, you know that you need these keys to get it out once you've had it in. One goes on one side, one goes on the other side, and you pull at the same time and it slides the radio out. So since I have the main ground wire running in through here, I have this resting on top of a box, as you can tell, and trying to support it so I don't rip the cord out. So let's keep going forward. Okay, so that last one did not take it out, so I am gonna have to remove the front center console before I do that. So in order to do that, you'll need a screwdriver or a trim pry tool, as I finally remember. Pop out the red ashtray that's here if you still have it. Underneath you will have an anchoring screw. From there you will have to take off the trim from around your shifter knob, and then you'll have to coax this bad boy on out, making sure that all of your screws and whatnot have been taken out if you plan on keeping it. Okay, so we have all the 5 surrounding screws out. We have the radio out and it completely disconnected. We have the faceplate for the climate control out, and with that faceplate you can see we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 more screws that need to be taken out so we can disconnect this, the climate control module, disconnect that from this whole unit. At that point we should be safe to pull everything out, because that's the only thing that's holding her in. Okay, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting into the nitty-gritty. So I got the whole area emptied out. My radio harness is down there, and so now I have disconnected the adapters to the radio harness, which are over to the sides. If you have an aftermarket radio, these should be just hanging free. So now the next step I'm going to have to do, let me get in here, is black connection, clear connection. I'm going to have to disconnect those. Okay, that's my car yells at me. All right, so that has to do with my fan speed and I think pressure. Yeah, it looks like AC activation and fan speed connections. So once I get those off, we have not sure how well we can see, but there's going to be two gold screws, which can be reached via, I want to say Phillips. Let me see if I can get you a better line of sight. But here's your door. So on the left hand side and then on the right hand side, there are going to be 2 Phillips head screwdrivers, gold. Over here you should be able to get to it via this hole right here. It actually lines up pretty perfectly, which I'm not going to be able to show you, but yeah, that's going to be the next goal. All right, so next step, we need to take out the vents and your control buttons. So what did I do? So basically it sits like this. From underneath you can reach and disconnect these 3. You push, so these ones you squeeze on the sides, the purple tabs, pull them out. This orange one, this is for your traction control. You push that forward and it comes on out. Alright, or right? Yeah, for traction control. Alright, so then once that's done, you can ever so gently push off your frame. Just be careful you don't yank too hard, because they break easily. And then once these are off, just grab at the bottom and pull them out. Okay, so you might hear a little clicking, a little popping, a little flex. Just be gentle, take your time, don't try to fight these things, and you will avoid any major breakages. And as you can tell, I've got a piece of foam that flew up. That's going to be discarded. And then I've got two more screws right here and over here on this side. Once this comes off, this will give me access to this to the upper flow tube, which that as well has to come out. And then once that's off, I should be able to gain access to the lower door down here where you see that sticker is, and then we should be able to open and get access to the blend doors. This is a pretty in-depth process, so make sure you have time, you take your time, and you pay attention to what you're doing. A nice trick is always to take pictures of what was where as you go along, especially if it's your first time doing something this in-depth. Alright guys, so I've gotten everything apart, and I know it looks like a hot mess, but that's because it is a hot mess. So basically, this is what your blender is going to look like inside, or your ducting. Alright, so basically what you need to do is you need to clear out as much space on this side to reach your hand up and behind. I could not get this bracket out the way because right above it is the airbag control module, which this has some other Torx bits that are holding it in place, and I could not get to the top one. So I did the best I could, and there's like a little U-shaped clamp right down here on the bottom, which, as you can tell, is still kind of intact, but yeah, there's another piece that connects to that. So back in there, you see that little tab that's sticking up. Not sure if I can show you. Hold on. So there is this lighting thing really sucks. I hope you guys appreciate this because I got no room to operate. Alright, so there's a little tab back there. Not sure if you can see. I'll try to zoom in on it the best I can. But that tab back there is what the back of the ducting right here is sitting on. So if you can reach your hand around back there, that's where you push up and then forward, and then it'll combine with that and this hook down here, which you can see from down there. You can get those two out, and then it'll start to slide down. Once that starts to slide down, I swear, take your time. It's going to be a lot of maneuvering, pulling on the plastic, trying to get it to flex into position. But now that that is out the way, let me try and get some more light in here for you. Alright, so that rear door that has some foam on it, alright, so that is what blends your heat and your AC, which is the yellow cord right here. So I'm gonna pull on that. Whoops, wrong one. Green. Oh Jesus, it's the white. Sorry, I'm half baked in this process. Not really. So you see that door moving? So that is your AC. All right. So that's what controls your heat and your cold. All right. And then the yellow cord. So that would be a white cord, yellow cord, green cord. So green cord and yellow cord work, or yeah, green and yellow work together and adjusting hot, cold, no, not hot, cold, face, feet, and windshield. All right, so as you can see, our directional is the one that is completely bare. There's nothing on it. All right, but I would like to see if I can try and get some of that foam out of the AC and heat blend door back there, so that I can kind of tighten that up a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna reach in there, clean out as much as I can, and then I've got some HVAC duct tape that I'm going to be putting in place. Now with that, you got to keep in mind we're not putting too much because we don't want to affect the functionality of the doors and cause them to get stuck. We want to put on just enough to seal up the unit so that we have full versatility function again. All right. We have success as far as repairing our blend doors. Let me change the light. So we have success as far as repairing our blend doors. Let me get some action for you. That's the front door. All right. Oh no! And then we have the rear door. And whoop, here you go. And see it close. All right. There it goes. Nice solid thud. You can kind of hear the air getting trapped a little bit better than it was before. Not really gonna know until everything is back together, but you obviously, once you do this and as you go, you want to keep track of what cords operate what. So obviously your white one being the rear and your yellow one being the front door. All right, and then the green cord operates another door inside here, which we obviously can't get to. If I remember correctly, that angles that's a solid plastic piece which angles the air up or down to face, feet, and or windshield. All right, so it's not a, you know what, I'm not even gonna lie to you, this is terrible. It's a terrible job. So unless you were trying to save yourself, well, I'd probably say about $2 grand in fees, don't do this yourself. Unless you Braveheart, you go for it, boo boo, you live your best life. But yeah, so I'm gonna leave that here and start getting this sucker back together before I gotta pick up my babies. So as always, wrench daily.